sideloading on iOS is overrated no matter how much the government wants to intervene. I said what I said. Stay tuned to the video. What's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech, captain of Team Apple, baby. Back again for the video. And if you're new here, I help you better understand and connect with the technology around you. So if that's something that you're interested in, go down there, hit that like button, and hit that subscribe button. Because who else is cutting your tech videos like a WWE promo? Nobody like the man about tech. So Apple and sideloading are back in the news again because the govs are getting their noses, sticking it in where it don't belong. So yesterday, the U.S. Senate Judiciary Committee passed the Open App Markets Act. It states that under the bill, as it is worded, app stores with more than 50 million users in the U.S. would not be allowed to force developers to use the platform payment system. Also, companies would also not be allowed to punish developers for offering apps through other platforms in different price points, and it would give developers the ability to communicate directly with their users. Basically, all that means is that Apple would be forced to allow sideloading on iOS. Now, I made a video about this last year, and I guess I gotta do it again because we have not learned from history about sideloading and how hardly nobody sideloads. Oh, you think I'm playing? You think I'm playing, don't you? You think I'm playing? Epic, Fortnite. We just did this 2 years ago with Epic and Fortnite on the Android side. So before it was ever in the Google Play Store, Fortnite was only available for download outside of the Google Play Store. It was an Epic's own game store or whatever. Ultimately, Epic had to capitulate and they gave in and put Fortnite inside of the Google Play Store. Now, they say they did this because Google put a bunch of warnings on the app because if people were trying to download it outside the Play Store, they were warning users about safety concerns, different things like that, which is within their right. But let's be serious. If Epic was actually making a certain amount of money, a decent amount of money from having that game outside of the Google Play Store, they would have never capitulated to Google's demand. So that tells me that it was more about them not making the money that they thought they could make instead of them capitulating and talking about how Google was warning people about the dangers of downloading outside of the Play Store. Now, why is Apple themselves so against sideloading? Well, a lot of the same reasons that Google were warning people about sideloading outside of the Google Play Store. When you sideload apps, the apps that can be sideloaded are not held under the strict review process that apps that are inside the App Store are held under. So they could potentially come with malware, viruses, different schemes to get information from you that you might not want to give, but you might be tricked into, different things like that. They're not vetted. They're apps outside of the App Store. So they don't have the same security protocols in place that you would get from apps inside of the Play Store or the Apple App Store. That is why both Google and Apple are so stringent and so leery of people downloading apps outside of their Play Store. Plus, we know how much of control freaks Apple are. They want to control every single process of how people use their iPhones and iOS. So naturally, Apple would not be for sideloading on iOS. However, you can actually sideload on iOS if you jailbreak your iPhone. Most of y'all don't know what that means. I'm not going to go into it, but the hardcore techies know what I'm talking about. But here's the thing. Even if Apple were to allow sideloading on iOS, nobody would do it. The reason why Apple is so popular and the reason why a lot of people prefer iPhone is because of the privacy and security reputation that Apple has garnered over the lifetime of the iPhone. And how do you get that reputation for privacy and security? Your App Store is trusted. Users trust when they go into the Apple App Store, they are downloading a safe app. They're going to have a safe experience, and it's built into the operating system in such a way that people just know that when you want to install an app on your iPhone, you go to the Apple App Store. Nobody besides the hardcore tech nerd is going outside of the Apple App Store to install an app on their iPhone. The very reason people use iPhones are so they won't have to do that. That is an Android thing, and even Android people don't sideload that much anymore. How often do you hear about Android users rooting their Androids in 2022? Don't worry, I'll wait. That's exactly what I thought. Nobody's doing that anymore because people have come to trust these app stores. I've always maintained this simple fact. If customers have to do extra work to obtain your app, you are playing at a loss. They are not going to do it. People are all about ease of use and convenience. If it's inconveniencing, even in the slightest, they're not going to do it. Nobody is buying an iPhone so they can sideload apps on their iPhone. You don't buy an iPhone if you want to sideload apps. The iPhone's reputation is ease of use and convenience. So I say again, even if the govs get their way and Apple is forced to allow this by regulation, the users aren't going to take to it because the iPhone has the reputation of, if you want the safest possible experience, you go into the Apple App Store and get the app that you want. I keep telling y'all, you vocal minority types are fierce and you're loud, but you are a small percentage of the total user base of iOS. 95% of people using iPhones are never going to sideload an app to their iPhone. They are not doing that because that's not why you buy an iPhone. And if you don't believe me, I just made a video highlighting why iMessage is so dominant. Newsflash, it's because it is the default messaging app on iOS. Bam! Video right there. Check it out and come back for more.